You're watching KRQE News 13 on Fox, New Mexico.
Eleanor Roosevelt is a woman who's been instrumental in women's rights. And if you take a look in your pocket this month, maybe you might just see her face on a new quarter, and that's in celebration of Women's History Month. Well, here to talk more about Eleanor Roosevelt and her impact on history is our own celebrity historian, Mr. Raffi. Andonian. Raffi, it's been a long time no see, but you're back.
Here I am.
Yeah, and as always, you have a lot to kind of bring us up to speed with. So right now, Eleanor Roosevelt, we know her as our First Lady, married to Franklin Delano Roosevelt, but she has quite the impact in women's history.
Yeah, now she herself came from an elite family, and believe it or not, I don't know if you realize this, she was in the Roosevelt clan before she even married FDR. She was fifth cousins with Franklin Roosevelt, and Teddy Roosevelt, the previous president, walked her down the aisle. So she was coming from a well-off family, but she dealt with a lot of hardship growing up. So, for example, before she was age 10, she had already lost both her parents. Her father was an alcoholic, and one of her brothers, believe it or not. So she had to overcome a lot, and that influenced how she thought throughout her life. She helped, for example, even before she was First Lady, immigrants at settlement houses in New York, for example. But and then when she became First Lady, she applied those skills and that attitude. For example, she refused Secret Service protection at one point because she wanted to interact with regular folks. And the reason that matters so much during the presidency is because during the New Deal, during the Depression, Franklin Roosevelt wanted to see how some of his programs worked in the country. Well, Eleanor became the eyes and ears and legs of Franklin Roosevelt, is how she was known, as the eyes, ears, and legs. Because remember, Franklin Roosevelt had polio that was advancing. He had a hard time traveling around. Her first year alone, she traveled 40,000 miles all over the country, including here in New Mexico in 1938 during the New Deal. And
right here to the land of
That's right. And she went by Belen, Los Lunas, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and she hung out with Mr. Popejoy. She hung out with Governor Tingley. She gave a lecture at UNM on world peace, for example, and she also went and saw New Deal programs in action. One of them was at Los Lunas High, for example, where there was a New Deal program to help kids develop crafts for vocation. Well, some of the crafts they developed was furniture making, traditional Spanish furniture making and weaving. Some of those furniture pieces later went into the UNM Student Union building.
And in your research, I mean, you read the actual first-hand accounts that she wrote in a journal.
Yes, which are available through university archives online, and you can look at them. And she talked about her experience in New Mexico, including commenting on the mountains, the courtyards, the exterior ovens, of course, the hornos. Now, she's on the quarter now because she also had a global impact. When you look closely at the quarter, what you'll see is not only an image of her, but then there she is in the center of the set of quarters that you're seeing there that are part of the American Women Quarters program. But when you look in the center there, she's in front of a globe because she has a global impact, and you'll see the scales of justice because she did a lot of work for human rights, and underneath it there's this inscription that says the Declaration of Human Rights, right? And what the Declaration of Human Rights, what that's talking about is she went to the United Nations later, after she was First Lady. President Truman appointed her to the first delegation to the United Nations, and she didn't just hang out as a symbol. She was the chair of the Human Rights Commission there, which came up with the Declaration of Human Rights for the world in 1948.
And that's a testament to who she is, because even after her husband's administration was over, she's still getting tapped by the next one.
That's right. That's right. And you know why that matters? Think about the context. You're coming out in the wake shortly after the Holocaust and World War II. It's the beginnings of the Cold War and the Soviet Union and all the bad things that they would do that end up leading to conflict between the U.S. and Cold War and Soviet Union. And so as a result of that, putting out a global document, committee of which she was chair. They had 85 sessions to draft this document, 30 articles. You can still find it. The United Nations still directly refers to it. You can still find it on the UN website. And she is trying to put this moral, universal understanding of how do we define this human rights thing for the entire world. She was also therefore known as a First Lady of the world.
There you go.
Not just First Lady of the United States.
She was ours and we shared her with the world. And so amazing. And then commemorated now in this wonderful set of quarters from the U.S. Mint. Raffi, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.